Anje Jodan Doje Jonan Shanju Badu Danu Jazun Dagu Chichu Jebe Sonamji Rola Benjo Sanje Draba Shu Sanje Jodan Doje Jonan Shanju Badu Danu Jazun Dagu Chichu Jebe Sonamji Rola Benjo Sanje Draba Shu Sanje Jodan Doje Jonan Shanju Badu Danu Jazun Dagu Chichu Jebe Sonamji Rola Benjo Sanje Draba Shu. Okay. Good. For you. Okay. Survive.
Survive. Another day.
Good. That's good. I think he's sleeping. Mark.
Oh.
Mark may be sleeping there. Hello, everyone. Good evening.
Good evening, Geshe.
Good evening, Geshe.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good morning.
Evening.
Good evening. What is it? Oh, let us. Okay, how are you? Did your first time come here?
Yes.
Okay.
I was here on Sunday. So.
Oh, you came Sunday? Yeah, I remember. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, it's a wonderful, another wonderful day. Is except that we not just say, we feel, have to another wonderful, beautiful day because we able to function for all our body, speech, mind, right? And also we able to join the class to even according to Buddhism, we recite the Heart Sutra. The merit of the recite Heart Sutras, you cannot describe, you cannot explain, because we describe for the emptiness. The name Tomanyigia, sick, Jobatandia,
Just by uttering or saying the name emptiness will empty that existence.
Then I think also
Even though we've been talking a lot about emptiness, we've been saying emptiness all the time, but it seems like the samsara is not emptying, it's increasing more and more. So it's saying that's how much the benefits there is, if you meditate on emptiness. So of course we're not really talking much about emptiness and not contemplating or meditating on emptiness. That's why we're still in samsara. If we were doing that, then we would have emptied. So even if we are not able to attend the whole class, but just by coming together and reciting the prayers from the beginning with the refuge and bodhicitta, and then the Guru Yoga of Lama Tsongkhapa, and then Heart Sutra and so forth. And so the 84,000 heaps of doctrine that the Shakyamuni taught, the essence of all that is in the Heart Sutra.
아니 되게 혈압세 돼 또만이 또 혈압자 대 냠선 넘버 때니 아니 거기 바로 또 반도도 그래서
And so here the Heart Sutra is referring to the Perfection of Wisdom Sutra. And by practicing that, you can cross the ocean of cyclic existence.
남불라션은 남불에 거라자고 그래 모라션은 남부 파스로 대나시 근데 혈압지 바로 대신 받은 냠선 남발라 때네 아니 고안에 파트도 그래서
Just like by riding an aeroplane, you can reach to the other side of the country or destination that you want to reach to. So just like that, by practicing professional wisdom, you will reach the other side of the sacred distance. You reach the nirvana.
You can hear the Thompson voice?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I feel a little bit like his voice a little bit low. Like that?
Really?
Yeah. What is 제자 감수 된 마. 근데 연락 두긴 단 제베. 아니 어디 하자마. 내 뱀무즈베 절럽제. 아니 배지 바래.
And then also the Lama Tsongkhapa Guru Yoga in relation to the seven limbs practices, right? So that is also very, very powerful blessing.
제자 안에 능지 그만도 근데 지금 세대들이 냠도죠. 교래 중화 교래 고급 생활을 때네 같이 쏘는 것도 쏘는 것도 쏘나 아니 되게 별로 수수 뜻하고 예뻐만 맞다로
By reciting and practicing just the prayers at the beginning, we accumulate great amount of merit. As we accumulate merit, that will also purify the negativities and overcome the obstacles.
내가 그디나 참아도 짱짱 용돼야 되는 것도 다 쏘는 게 보면 따래.
So all the time, we are facing all these problems and having a lot of obstacles. It's because of not having enough merits.
그래서 쏘는 남아 대두투가 담쳐서 쏘는 데에 미 삼반함 접세워 산지 좀 두송하러 와.
So that said, those with the merit will be free from all the sufferings, and those with the merit will also be able to accomplish whatever they wish for.
옛날 감도 수군하라 약하고. 그래서 다 수보소야 니빠야 보이와이나 하는 것도 나사도 뭐 고가도 와.
And so it's just like in the body, in our body, if you have the immune system like that protects you from getting sick and so forth, then that will help you to prevent getting sick, right?
어떤 손님들이 다 들려고 지금 말만 밀단이 통화도 개마다 나까지 쇼단 나게 빠지도 봐. 손톱을 때리는 니빠진 보시.
Merit is like that. You can't see it, but it has this great power or potential to protect us from all these external and internal obstacles.
다음에 나라 탈로 따져나 아니 줄로 그 정목 관리에나 나까지 근데 줄로 저도 바꿔도 어떻게 쉽지네.
So just like if you turn on the heat in the house, then that will stop cold, right? No matter how cold it is outside. But if you have heat in the house, that will prevent the cold.
어제다 안 쓰는 것도야 뭐 쌓이고이나 아니 지금 쉬다 난 것들이 그거 마치도 다 손톱이 요새.
Just like that, if you have a good accumulation of merit, then that will protect you from all the external and internal problems.
어제다 아니 단 이제 연합되게 냠라단 되겠거니 근데 줘야 아니 사람이 뭐도 해도 다 손은 거 통합을 해서
So by reciting these prayers, in relation to the seven limb practices and reciting the Heart Sutra, accumulates a great amount of merit.
어제다 아니 남주배나 대사도 와나 다 샵대 속을 걸어야 사람이 뭐다 좀 더 그래. 샤마 뭐뭐 내시다. 샤마 뭐도 말해.
In the monasteries, when they do pujas, prayers for some purpose, or for some special purpose, or to remove obstacles and so forth, and we usually recite Heart Sutra and Tara prayers. There are many other prayers we can do, but we mainly focus on those prayers for removing obstacles and so forth.
어제 아니 제가 나도 드리냠도 지압하는 사샷들을 원하다. 내 진업전 차대는 내 제나 간제서는 것도 사요.
So if we do in special place like this, which has been blessed by many holy beings, will even create even more merits.
어제 제자네 한데 냠도 제라다가 또 받지 못 보여. 나도 지금 삼성들아 로고서는 뒤바라 지금 용도만 대대 받지에서 받지다 돼요.
Then there are many obstacles that prevents us from getting together like this, getting together in a place like this and doing practices together. So like even if you have a wish to go, but sometimes because of something coming up, oh, I can't go that way. So that's obstacle.
Right? It didn't come last week, that's obstacle.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a big obstacle.
아이나 제가 나도 그때 나도 그 담까지 좀 말해나 타고 마치도 용되고.
It's not that we chose to have like that or chose to not go here, not go to the center, but there comes this, there happens to have this kind of obstacles that prevent us from going places that we want.
뭐지 제자 안에 남주 다 가서 나도 취재해서 돼. 조치네 아니지. 산지 강소시 봐 날래다 해야 돼.
So when we talk about practicing Dharma, it is following the advices of the Buddha.
다는 지금 수수 샘레데스 이제 왔다 또 와이나 이원로 누나 취하고 온 거래.
So like that, also if we can bring some transformation in one's mind, then that is the sign of having practiced Dharma well.
뭐지? 오케이 다 되네라고 시다다 나주로 다 되네라고 임바지. 당도 좀 다 해야 되다 가서 막 보시다 간들 아니지. 따뜻한 거 남자 말아봐. 담으라 뭐 보시겠어. 강사 참마. 잠재 참마 지금 참마 당당 말아. 걔네 말아봐. 아니 좀 더 말아 뭐 보는 거. 이 주로 말아 뭐 보는 거라.
Well, that's about the Buddhism or teachings of the Buddha in general, and now we're going to go to the our specific subject, which is about tenets. And there are 4 different tenets, and it happened to be like that, to have this kind of different tenets because of a different kind of beliefs or different mentalities, different dispositions, and all these cycles and so forth.
예자다 나도 남배시다 제나 아니 시라마와티 시럽 따와를 때 통도 개랭이 버렸어.
We have a different level of this school of thought or tenets, and so that starts with the Vaibhashika. So the Vaibhashika is in Buddhism is regarded, the Vaibhashika is regarded slightly better than the non-Buddhist schools.
그러나 또 그러나 나도 다세 요레스 다세 요 켈레 텔레는 텐즈비즈 바슈치 보체네. 나도 요라마
And then all this problem comes because of grasping at the self existence, and because of we believe in the self existence, and by grasping it, to it, by apprehending or by grasping to it, we get into a lot of problems.
간다 아니 다 아니 또 대화대 시라면 양 텔텔 테스트 따와 더 하는 거래.
And Sautrantika is regarded a little bit better or higher than the Vaibhashika.
근데 대시불라 안에 샘토마테야 아니 하시라마거든 또 대화 인자를 때도 더 하는 거래.
And then after that comes the mind oneness school, which is regarded a little better and higher than the Vaibhashika and Sautrantika school.
아니 되네 오마바타 오마라지바나 타제와 니에바네야 오마라제바테야 네 샘토마 시라마가 또 대화 숨갈을 때야.
And then comes the middle way school of the Madhyamika, and then there are 2 kinds of Madhyamika school. So one is called Savattantika Madhyamika, another one is called the Prasangika Madhyamika. And the Savattantika Madhyamika is regarded a little bit better and higher than the first 3 schools, like Vaibhashika, Savattantika, and Chittavada.
아니 다 대내 타마대당은 오마 탄지발래. 다 오마 탄지발때 다 디고 같은다. 라지고 먼저 처음에 자다. 이제 따와 네 따와 차가도 아직 따와야가 그러면 여기까지 아원 다투기 해석이.
And then the final one is the Prasangika Madhyamika, which is regarded better than the first four schools, like Vavashika, Sautandika, Chitamata, and Sabutandika Madhyamika. And so it's regarded the better or more accurate. So it's considered as a final the view.
And so you want to do that 가르치는 건지 따와 시험 그 시험 좀 단지에 따와대 좀 더 고마서 걔네도 고요 말이야. 샘을 롤 추요 말이야.
So the final, the percentage of Madhyamika's view is considered as the final view, the ultimate view, and then the view is so high that the people with the lower views of thoughts cannot comprehend that, cannot digest to that idea of the views.
어떤 참에 좋다 그 세단데 안에 세대 많이 이제 좋아요 그래서 다시요 많이 그래서.
And then so they all talk about they all are same in talking about the basis, which is the two truths.
안에 람탑신이냐를 그래서.
And the path, there's the path, method, and wisdom.
안에 대냐가라면 안에 저거 아니 꾸니 더 그래서 dom들이다.
And then by practicing those two, method and wisdom, and we will achieve the two bodies.
어제 다 된리가 레버트 도와셔봐라 다 소소고 냠내서 뭐 당당담만 제담담만 된리지네 좀 다른 것으로 봐.
The two holy bodies, let's say two holy bodies, the two kayas, and in order to achieve that, you have to do many different kind of practices with the method and wisdom. So, so that by doing that, then you achieve the result, the two kayas.
네, 아저씨 다 가다들 말로 다 which one we stop?
I think we just got to the mode of asserting object possessors.
Number 4, 4 or 5.
We were talking about.
Oh, they're not finished yet.
Homework was about 4, but I think the next topic is number 5.
다들 시와등아 양주를 실려나 거잖아. 간지 이열들아야 아니 공주세지 당공주세 니 요래 지글랍사서 가들랍사인 바스.
We talked about these two kinds of objects, right? In the mode of asserting objects, there are two kinds of objects, hidden and manifest objects.
아니 다 전통 남지 간지 토마토에 가려야 따라 때문에라 오저스. 따라 맞다 요트.
It was the object.
Object. Mode of object.
I said the wrong thing. I said mode of asserting objects, but I think it was mode of asserting object possessors.
Yes, so that's Geshe say he wants to go through the mode of asserting object. So and so it says like hidden object must be realized by depending on the sign. So that's talking about the ordinary beings. The ordinary beings have to depend on a sign, and in order to realize the hidden objects.
And the 전통 세대 아니 간지 토마니 단데 오마 단지 원래 토마니 마토에 가서 and 토마 마토에 거다 가야 봐나 안 전통라 그래.
Most of them.
토마니 무슨 마토.
And so the ordinary beings here are referring to the beings who have not realized the emptiness, right? So those who have not achieved the path of seeing, before that is considered as ordinary beings.
다 세제도 맨날 담아다봐 담바도 동화다바디 아니 다 고도 저버려서 달아된 거 그래서 엄마도 담아다바디 아니 알아맞는 것을 또 그래서.
And then it says like this: the examples of the hidden objects are the impermanence of sound and sound's emptiness of true existence. And then the example of the manifest objects are the pot and woolen clothes.
단딜래야 안에 러시아도 만들어왔지라 안에 뇌에서 당연주도 되지래서 문제는 뇌에서 뇌에서 그래서.
Then it says the manifest object and directly perceivable are mutually inclusive. So if it is a directly perceivable, it has to be a manifest object, and if it is a manifest object, then it has to be directly perceivable.
답변아. 차샤바에나 남중한도 남중에서 다고대 냉년지하고 단디나 공지상도 그래 년설에 네 이제 오마라지바 메슈 샤바에나 남중에서 다고대 년설에다 내려서 잡아 말해 내려서에나 년지 근데 이거로 문제 그래 근데 남중에서도 공지상도 그래.
So like the yogic direct perceiver is considered is directly perceivable, but in this case will not be a directly perceivable because it is not a manifest object. It's because it's a hidden object.
아니 남체다고대 근데 좀더 오밀라 아니 네 녀석에다 단데라 공지상도 그래.
And like omniscient mind, omniscient mind in the lower schools would be directly perceivable, but here it is not directly perceivable. It is not a manifest because it's not a manifest object. It is a hidden object.
Okay, what do you think, Harvard? Do you still believe that?
No. I'm just taking it in. I'm just taking it in.
Yeah, good. 어제 근데 남중한도 또 봐도 다시 만져버려 방에서 생기세요. 아니 단대 때 용어에 말해.
So unmistaken, that's the unmistaken knower that is free of conceptuality, yes, conceptuals. So that would be the definition of the directly perceivable object, right? But the direct perception. But here, that definition will not apply to this one here.
어제 다디 올라 다 놀아서 다 덴바니 데니쇼 되거나 야텔라이나 유텔라이나 구조때 받는데 많이 그래서 아 단위지 처음에 녀들이 바지 단위지 처음마다 코나 단위지만 송화대 다 라니 구조때 많이 생이세 배वे는 라니세에 되나 가능한 뭐 시주돼 봐.
And then there comes the further division of the object. This is the conventional truth and the ultimate truth. Then this is the definition of conventional truth is an object which is found by a valid cognizer, distinguishing conventionality, and with respect to which a valid cognizer distinguishing conventionality becomes a valid cognizer distinguishing.
가능한데 this is homework. It is homework 봐. 안는데 시대 작업이다. 아, 야 구조때 말아서 야다 야 헬라야 야다 구조다 로비 구조니스 얘기 말해서 얘기 말해서 봐. 단지 빌라 엄마 라지바 문책을라 야다 구조다 로비 구조니 찾아 이거서 단딜라 얘기 말해서 구조때 말아 야다 구조다 로비 구조니 얘기 말해서.
Since that is in the homework, we'll talk about that later. I'll not describe that here now. Then it says in the next paragraph, it says, it is not right to divide conventional truth into two. This is a real conventional truth and a wrong conventional truth. So, I don't know if you have heard about that before, but it looks like the lower schools divides conventional truth into two as a real conventional truth and wrong conventional truth.
그래서 다 네길라 아니 야다 것도 매매시 때 꾸준한 로방이 걸리는다까지 그리고 이제 꾸도 ing에 야다 ing들이 샤요 말해서 다 들어 올라가 들어와.
And then the reason they give here is because there are no real conventional truth. There's no division of real conventional truth and a wrong conventional truth because there's no real conventional truth. And this is because if it is a conventional truth, it is necessarily not real.
영만나 아는 줌바 이게 야다 이게 자꾸 그랬대. 줌바 야다 니가 이게 요구 말해서 그럼 다 좀더 로당 좀 보시죠.
And if it's a conventional truth, then it has to be false, right? It's false. And so he's saying that it can't be both false and real, right? False and real. So this is because if it is a conventional truth, it is necessarily wrong.
예, 아드지 다 대나 로방이 그것이었어. 양구도 때 말하는 지대 신고라 때문에 아니 야다도 로방이 샤초 그래서.
It is right to divide conventional truth into two as real and wrong with respect to worldly consciousness. With respect to the worldly consciousness.
제가 내가 There's the and the Zubin Jitiju Yanda down Melon she the Jitation of the Lobaladua. There's it and that come out the Chibari. And that Comegula and the Zubin and the Yanda Kuzo down Melon she unity and the Lobicuzo in Baran and the Tanite Jagmari. It is similar to the Yanda Lopa in Matori and the Yanda Lopa Mines.
So this is with respect to the worldly consciousness, not in general. So in general, there is no real conventional truth, right? Because if it is conventional truth, it has to be wrong. It's necessarily wrong. And so it says that the form is real with respect to worldly consciousness, and the reflection of the face in the mirror is wrong with respect to the worldly consciousness. So maybe in the lower schools, they talked about the form as being the real conventional truth, and the reflection of the face in the mirror is wrong conventional truth. But here, it is not in that way. It's only with respect to the worldly consciousness. With respect to the worldly consciousness, yes, that form is a real conventional truth, and the reflection of the face on the mirror is the wrong consciousness. With respect to the worldly consciousness.
Then Jiti Shingola in the Yanda in the Yobe Machate, Zuden of the Timberes.
Then it says if it is real with respect to the worldly consciousness, it is not pervaded by existence. That means like it doesn't have to be existent. If it is real, with respect to the worldly consciousness, it doesn't have to exist. Because truly existent form are real with respect to the worldly consciousness, but not existent.
Oh yeah, Dan Jiti Shingola in the Yadalan Kariko.
So, what do you understand when it says it is correct? I mean, it's real with respect to the worldly consciousness.
Okay, what do you understand?
What does it mean?
Mode of apprehension, that you see the true existence, like an ordinary being, the objects.
Yes.
I would say that by definition, worldly consciousness has to be mistaken because it doesn't perceive emptiness directly. But if you say, being able to understand, the conventional truth within reference to a worldly consciousness, then it can be valid or invalid if the reference point is worldly consciousness, which is not real.
The question is, what does it mean when it says with respect to the worldly consciousness? What does it mean? What does that mean?
With respect to the
So it says, the form is the real conventional truth, right? With respect to
conventional truth. So
with respect to the worldly consciousness, right?
Yes.
So when it says with respect to the worldly consciousness, what does that mean?
Valid with respect to worldly consciousness, but it's not real. It's not ultimately real.
But what does that mean? With respect to the worldly consciousness, what does that mean?
Respect to worldly consciousness,
Conventional?
ultimately not real, but I don't know.
Okay, Rika.
Sorry.
Oh, it's good, yeah. Rika, you have something?
Yeah, it's a consciousness under the influence of ignorance. So it's so ignorance is concealing the truth. It's the veiled truth. The consciousness under the influence of ignorance.
Jiti Shingola in the Yanda. And go to Galatian, Jiti Shingola Gaji, Umani Matobi, Kansa Tingona. Okay. What is Deborah?
I would say that it's referring to, so we all have socially agreed upon labels for things, recognize them. So, a vase is a vase, But we have things that, so that's a real worldly label. But things such as rabbit with antlers is not real, and so that's wrong worldly consciousness, or like a reflection in a mirror. But there are real worldly consciousness, so we need to have these labels so we can communicate with each other and just, you know, operate in the world.
Yeah, body then the truth of the chimola and body yours. You want the yomares. And for you but the bodies. The one never did the bodies.
Good. Okay, well,
We do not contradict the way the world sees existence, because you do not want to confuse people.
The Shimoli also the Roman to the Gada Yamares. Masana Bishop Dalatane, Middle Dollar. Go for sure. Go for the Toma did the other Marigavana. Go for this. And do this.
okay. 아직 나도 지대 신고서다 나도 배나 동반이 맞다고 가다란 지대 신고 가다 팀을라고 그랬어.
So usually the worldly consciousness means the consciousness that has not realized emptiness.
다 나도를 주대 나와 맞다고 또요 말했어.
And so through the worldly consciousness, right? You know, so the consciousness which has not realized emptiness, the form does appear, you know, to that consciousness, but that consciousness does not realize that form does not exist from its own side.
제장 나도를 나다 맞다고 또면서 나도 나들 때나 야다래서 시당 야다 뭐이스.
And so even though form appears to us, but it does not exist in a way it appears to us. And so, so the form appearing to us, you know, is a real, but appearing in a way as we grasp it, you know, appearing in a way as we grasp, you know, is wrong.
전다 오마 라지바만 저게 주대 야다 있어. 내가 주대 지도 나들라지는 야다 말했어. 근데 차와대 하고도.
So below the Savatana mathematical school, this is the form is correct, form is real. But here they say the form is real and with respect to the worldly consciousness, but it's not real because the form does not exist in a way it appears to the worldly consciousness.
제가 나도 지티 가르나 나도는 나지 나와다 맞다고 나도 또 매와인자 나도 나들 때나 야다래스. 나 시다 야다 마이스.
And so from the way it appears to us, right? The form appears to us, you know, to the worldly consciousness. So therefore, it is real, but it does not exist in a way it appears to the worldly consciousness. Therefore, it is not correct, not true. Therefore, it is wrong.
비 올라다 담대 대브라지라서 배나 롱어라다 멜로는 게 시즈년데 나도 나가다 나와다 군이 많이 봐서 샤고 인자한테 나도 나더라 lokpares.
And so we can have the appearance, you know, of the reflection, right, of our face in the mirror, and we can have the appearance of the rabbit's horn, like Deborah mentioned, but you know, it does not exist, right, like it appears to us, you know, so therefore it is not real.
얘나 멜로는가 나주 시야지도 변도 땡아주 시야지 말해. 어떻게 레서고 말했어.
So in the reflection of our face in the mirror, right, that appears to us, do we think that is our reflection? That is the reflection of our face? Or what do we think of that? We think that is the reflection of our face?
제가 가는데 난 하나씩 말이 되게 말아. 나도 나한테 말고 또 말아. 나도 모래서 먹으러. 나도 모래서 먹으면 말해서 먹으러 말아.
So what are some of my
알레 모래서 먹으러 말해.
So when you see your face in the mirror, do you think that is your face? Or you think that's not my face?
You think it's your face.
Yeah, so you think that's your face, right? But is that your face?
I think the faces are reflection.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah,
When you say, "Oh, that's my face," right?
today my face looks good.
Yeah, I think that's just
I mean, if you ask-
speaker, but we're not, we're not ignorant to the fact that it's not really a face there.
But we have a strong grasp, yeah, and that's our face, right?
When you shave, you think, oh, that's my, I mean, I'm just speaking for myself. I think, oh, that's my face. I mean, I know, oh, I could touch it. The glass is cold and it's not me, but
Yeah.
that's another level. Usually it's just simple thinking. It's
Yeah.
just, oh, that's me.
Not much of thought was. Is that anything look at it? They show the look at it.
No, but we don't with it.
Not much of thought that they are good.
Like we see the face right in the mirror, but we know that's not our face, right? We know that it's not our face. But that, so therefore we see that, it's wrong.
Zoo Demba Travati, Jiti, Yanda, the Yomar, then the Zoo in Judition, the Yanda Mitigari. Zoo Demba Travati.
But then it says,
The Shimura, the Yanda, Yope Machade, Zoo Dendra, the images. The Otaro.
it says it is right to read about with respect to their own consciousness, right? And if it is real with respect to the worldly consciousness, it is not provided by existence, because truly existent forms are real with respect to worldly consciousness, but not existent.
Yeah, good.
Sudhamadubadi.
Yeah,
Sudhamadubadi. You understand that part, right? The truly existent form are real with respect to the worldly consciousness, but not existent.
Okay. Why? Or what?
Just because they don't, because
Jitesh,
they're empty of true existence.
The truly existent form are real with respect to the worldly consciousness, right? It's real. The truly existent form is real. With
Truly
respect,
existent form is
it's
real. I
real
get
with
that.
respect to the worldly consciousness.
With respect to the worldly consciousness.
yes. Yes, no. I think you're okay. How about you?
Yes, the true
Why?
existent forms are real with respect to the world of consciousness.
Why?
Because they're real with respect to the even consciousness of an ordinary being who hasn't, even though they appear as existing from their own side or truly existent, that is real and that's not an existent. So if we say that basically all forms to the to worldly consciousness are non-existent because they don't exist the way they appear. They appear to be truly existent, but they don't exist that way.
How is that real then?
Because it's real to the worldly consciousness. So it's,
The additional question is, why is it real to the worldly consciousness?
Oh.
It's
It is not real. It's not real in reality, but it's real with respect to the worldly consciousness.
Yes.
Right? So how is it real with respect to the worldly consciousness?
Okay. You have answered?
Could you repeat the question? I want to make sure I have this question structured correctly in my mind before.
Which is why is truly existent form? Why is truly existent form real with respect to the worldly consciousness? Why is it real? Truly existent form.
Erika?
I have to say, I would say that that's impossible. No, I'll tell you why.
Yes.
Well, hear me out. Tell me if you think I'm wrong, if I'm just in outer space, because you say with respect to worldly consciousness. So based on the understanding of worldly consciousness, what am I getting wrong? Please correct me. So we're saying, so this is, we're analyzing the question from the perspective of a worldly consciousness, which by definition is mired in ignorance and doesn't see emptiness directly. Is that correct?
Yes.
So if that's correct, then how can that possibly understand true existence?
Oh, that's it.
That's what the text is saying, right? Because truly existent forms are real with respect to worldly consciousness, but not existent.
Okay, you are alone the killing me back.
In the text, it says in the text like that, right?
Read carefully, okay? How about Rika?
I think conventionally, they do not exist the way they appear, but for this worldly consciousness, all phenomena except emptiness are truth. They exist for this worldly consciousness, so it's true, it's real. But conventionally, they do not exist as they appear. But that's how I can say.
I think that's backwards. I think that they do exist the way they appear for
Yeah.
worldly consciousness. And that's why they're real.
Conventionally, compare with the ordinary mind and the omniscient mind, the ordinary mind are under the influence of ignorance, so that is real. But compare with the omniscient mind, conventionally that doesn't exist as they appear. I don't know if I explained it well, but
That's good. How about Deborah? How about Bill?
Yeah, go ahead, Bill.
I would say there are 3 levels of consciousness: gross, gross consciousness, subtle consciousness, and very subtle consciousness. So the perception of a normal person uses the gross consciousness connected with the body. The analysis of the subtle consciousness is yogic, and it contradicts, or it's superior to the gross consciousness. And then there is the very subtle consciousness.
No, this time we're not talking about the yogic consciousness. We're not talking about the subtle consciousness. My question is
gross consciousness. Yes.
Okay.
We don't
zug dembatavati jiti shima the yana bijisa karis.
So Geshe-la's question is with respect to the worldly consciousness. So worldly consciousness, right? For worldly consciousness, the form, truly existent form is real. So why is it real with respect to the worldly consciousness?
It's real because it appears to the gross consciousness as real.
This is a temperance. And in that case, what about the reflection of face in a mirror? Is that real?
If you believe that's the only face you'll ever see, you'll never see your own face. So if you believe that's real, then that's real too for a gross consciousness.
You never saw your face?
No, I only see your face. I only see your face, Geshe. I don't see my own face. I only see a reflection. Or you can tell me, you have mustard on your chin, but I don't know.
Okay, that's good. Yeah. Okay, Margaret, do you have something to say?
All I can say is worldly consciousness is real because it's not wrong. Yeah, a truly existent form is real to worldly consciousness. That's only real and
Yeah,
wrong. So it's
다유가 나도 그죠. 죽된 지대 시간에 야다 그도 이마다 죽 데마터 지대 시간에 야다 비치 치와가 동대.
See that earlier, right? Earlier, it said what is real and what is not real, right? So the form is real, right? According to, with respect to the worldly consciousness, it says the form is real, right? And then the reflection of a face in a mirror is not real, with respect to the worldly consciousness, right? So, above it says the form is real with respect to the worldly consciousness, and below here it says the truly existent form is real with respect to the worldly consciousness, right? So, do you see any difference? The form and the truly existent form. So they both are real, to the worldly consciousness, right? With respect to the worldly consciousness, they both seems to be real, right? So that's the question. That's why there comes the question. So if the form is real, then also the truly existent form is real.
And all forms to a worldly consciousness are truly existent.
So somewhat in
So is the statement saying that actually in worldly consciousness there's no all our perception that is real is all not existent, correct?
No, in the statement it says that truly existent form are real with respect to worldly consciousness.
Yes.
So when you say the word real, that means the ability for the worldly consciousness to be able to apprehend it.
It means valid. It means valid.
Valid. So I'm having a hard time understanding how a worldly consciousness would
valid or means correct.
Would even be able to see something that's truly existent, because truly existent means as it exists, it doesn't exist from its own side. It's not permanent. It's not eternal. That's like if you have like a full understanding of emptiness, you're beyond the path of seeing and all that. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Is everything I said correct?
Yeah.
So how can a worldly consciousness?
It's already here in the text. It's in the text. It's but not existing.
No, I know the words are here. I mean, I can read the words too.
Yeah.
I appreciate that, but I don't know how that's possible. If you're worldly, if you're like full of delusions and ignorance and worldly, like my mind, I'm like super worldly, but how is that kind of consciousness going to be able to perceive or even touch?
Well, that's how the conventional mind works. It posits everything as true.
Yeah.
No, I'm getting mixed up. I'm getting hung up on the word on the label truly existent, because it's truly existent.
So that's special question too. That's the confusion part,
Oh, it's confusing me.
Yeah, that's the confusing part. That's why the question comes. If it is not confusing, if it's very clear, then there's no question.
So when you say truly existent, when you say, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be difficult, but when you say truly existent, does that mean as it really exists? From an Arya being.
You did a lesson for him.
Okay, sorry.
Shitang yada yo maris kana lobares kudu ta banga lobar lai bas. Ina jiti shingol da yada lobayers te tanya lokha shana kach.
So again, we're not saying in general, right? We're not saying in general whether the form is real or not. But we're saying in the conventional truth, the form is real with respect to the worldly consciousness in conventional truth.
Okay.
Yeah, so that we have to refer to that also.
Thank you.
So in conventional truth, in conventional truth, the form is real with respect to the worldly consciousness, right? Yes.
I understand. I would say yes.
Yeah. So that's what Geshe said earlier, right? The form is real in conventional truth. The form is real with respect to the with the worldly consciousness. But in general, the conventional truth is not real.
I understand that.
Right? That part also you have to understand, right? So the The worldly consciousness is the consciousness that has not realized emptiness, like us, right? Ordinary beings.
근데 주도 야다 버려서 간줄라.
And to us, the form is real.
가는 간주 주 대마도 한게 그래서.
Because to us, the form appears as truly existent.
근데 너한테 맞아봐 간주 하고 말해서 다 이상 그래서.
But we do not realize that the form do not exist like it appears to us.
제자 간주 야다 간주를 야다 말만 나지 간주 맞아봐 간주 하 이삼 하 먹어 인자티 간주 따다나 야다 버려서.
And so because the form appears to us as existing truly, but we have not realized that the form does not exist, like it appears as existing truly to us. Right? So the form appearing to us is real. But the form appearing to us as existing from its own side is
Not yet.
doesn't exist.
Yes.
It's not existent.
Yes, I get that.
Oh, we got it.
I get that. And so there is a difference because of we're grasping on an illusion. We see it as a solid. We see it as existing from its own side, but it doesn't really exist like that. The best we could do is have a contrived understanding, unless we see emptiness.
So it appears to us, but it doesn't exist, right? Is that it? So can you give an example of something that appears to us but doesn't exist?
It's a non-existence. That's why they're saying that worldly consciousness is not pervaded by existence, because.
Oh no, that's a tricky way you said that. So this exists. It exists. I'm attached to it. I see it. But the way I see it, the way my mind grasps onto it, is not really how it exists. I see it as this solid thing, this, I like it and whatever, but it doesn't exist like that. It's impermanent. It's empty of true existence. It's made of parts. It's not a solid. Yes. Yes.
Do you realize that it does not exist in a way it appears to you?
Do I realize? Only in a contrived way. I have to put in all these intellectual, but I don't see it that way.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, you got it? Okay, Rika, I think Rika first explain like that. But I'm not so. So, look the matter when they come for the when they come with your jammer. Jitishman in the yoga markasha, zook the matwashas.
So yeah, so it's just like Rika said about like under the influence of the ignorance, right? So not having realized the emptiness. So even though the form appears as existing truly, but it doesn't exist truly. According to the Prasangika Madhyamika school, and the sentient beings who have not realized emptiness directly, and then to them everything that appears is appears as existing truly, whether it's appearing to the eye consciousness, ear consciousness, mental consciousness, or whatever consciousness it appears as existing truly.
And then
in the Arya beings who have realized emptiness directly, only to their mind realizing emptiness directly, it doesn't exist, it doesn't appear as existing truly. But to other minds, like to the eye consciousness, ear consciousness, all this appears as existing truly. So they have the appearance, of these things, to the eye consciousness, the things appears as existing truly. But to the mind, after there's the followed by that, then comes the mind, right? This is form. Oh, this is form. Then it's mental consciousness. The first this mala comes to your eye, and that's the eye consciousness. And then soon after, this is mala. When you think that, then that's the mental consciousness, right? So to the mental consciousness, they don't grasp it as existing truly. But To the eye consciousness, it appears existing truly, but the mental consciousness doesn't grasp, but doesn't apprehend as existing truly.
제자 안에 이한단 말을 높아래서 거의 남솔라 나한테 그래서 뭐 그거 나가다 했다단 말이 챙겨다 이하고 지금 되잖아.
And so that's how you can say it is right or wrong. You know, to us, it seems like right. It appears as existing truly, and we think it is existing truly. So it is right to us. But to the but how we see, how we differentiate the right and wrong is from the consciousness of the Arya being who have realized emptiness directly. To them, it appears as existence truly, but they don't apprehend it as existence truly. And so, because it doesn't exist truly, therefore, thinking therefore we can say this is real and this is wrong.
예, 다들 오된다. 안 다두지 때문에도 강하시 다두지 때문 아니라 다두지 때문에 성토는 되면 세니 야나 생각을 갖다라스 간의 고들한테 되면 잡스.
And now then, with respect to the definition of ultimate truth, right? And it says, an object found by a valid cognizer distinguishing a final phenomenon, and with respect to which a valid cognizer distinguishing a final phenomenon becomes a valid cognizer distinguishing a final phenomenon.
예, 아 예와 선생님까지 또 많이讲解했는데. 좀 그래 또 많이 지루까지 또 많이 먹었잖아요. 그가 돈이래. 다지불라. 예와도 샘서바도 집발라는 샘서바가 그 돈이 전자샤고.
So then it says the division of the ultimate truths are like those of Chittamattha. It says the subtle selflessness of person and subtle selflessness of phenomena. It says, but this system asserts that true cessation are provided by ultimate truth. So then, the omniscient mind. Now the question comes: omniscient mind is an object. Which is found by a valid cognizer, distinguishing conventionality or distinguishing final phenomena.
And
the form. What about the form? The form is found by a valid cognizer distinguishing final phenomena. Form or pot.
The pot's emptiness.
Everything, but
pot itself.
Yes, I guess, yes, it would be.
Okay.
It would be a valid cognizer distinguishing.
Omniscient mind of Buddha, yeah.
Okay.
Is it an object found by a valid cognizer distinguishing a final phenomenon?
Okay. About Howard? Yes, no. About Rika, Deborah, Bill? Yes, no.
I don't know.
It's not found, and you do not see the object again until you have the omniscient mind. When you enter the path of seeing, you do not cognize the object. You only, because you have taken the object of negation, you only see the emptiness. You do not see the object. You do not see the. You do not see Buddha. Right, you do not see the object again until you have the omniscient mind. The omniscient mind sees simultaneously the object and its emptiness simultaneously. All other minds do not see that.
So the omniscient mind sees the pot, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So that is the object. So that object, that pot is object found by omniscient mind, right?
Yes.
Okay, 대답해 말해.
and therefore it is the ultimate truth.
It and its emptiness simultaneously are the
Not
object
emptiness.
of the omniscient mind. Yes.
Not emptiness.
Yes,
Pot.
the emptiness of the pot and the
No,
pot.
no, just the pot.
Just pot.
The Buddha sees simultaneously the pot and the emptiness. Nobody else does.
That's not the question. The question is the pot that Buddha sees, right? Buddha see the pot?
Of course.
Yes. So is that the final phenomenon?
If it's seen by an omniscient mind of a Buddha, yes.
So therefore it is the ultimate truth.
Yes, it's not the totality of the ultimate truth, but yes, it's a part of it.
So the pot is ultimate truth.
The pot is part of the omniscient mind's viewing of the world, sees the pot.
So no, it's saying that is pot ultimate truth? Just the
To an
pot
omni-
itself.
To an,
Is it
to,
ultimate truth or not?
to an omniscient mind,
No,
to
the
an-
pot in general. The pot
to
in
an-
general, is it
no,
ultimate truth?
no,
or
you
not?
have to answer the question. To an omniscient mind,
The Namgyal. So to the omniscient mind, the pot is ultimate truth?
the pot and the emptiness are all seen simultaneously as an ultimate truth. Yeah.
Not talk about emptiness. Okay, now you add again. Okay. Rika, do you have any answer that?
Can I ask the question one more time? What's the question?
But
The pot is an object found by omniscient mind, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that an object found by a value cognizer distinguishing phenomenon, the final phenomenon?
That's a tricky question. I think it's a very tricky question. Yeah, I guess I can say yes, because it's a one nature, conventional truth and ultimate truth are one nature. So I say yes. Yeah.
How about Deborah? How about Margaret?
I agree with Rika.
I agree that the pot can be both conventional truth and ultimate truth. And when it's perceived, when it's cognized by the omniscient mind, it will see the final phenomena side of it. So it will be ultimate truth.
Okay. Then, okay, how about you?
May I have a definition of final phenomenon? What is that? What does that even mean? Final phenomenon.
That was not anything. Reality.
So that
The final phenomenon means the real, the final one. No?
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
So the question was, is a pot the final phenomenon, right, of mentioned mind?
It's an object. It's a pot, an object found by the value cognizer distinguishing final phenomenon.
With respect to that pot, a valid cognizer distinguishing.
You can just say yes or no.
I'm gonna say
So
yes.
you can't say yes. That's why the definition doesn't end there.
Okay,
because the definition was formulated
So is it yes or no?
Okay, but then you can't So
Is it an object found by a value cognizer distinguishing a final phenomenon with respect to which a value cognizer distinguishing final phenomenon becomes a value cognizer distinguishing final phenomenon?
Yeah.
And in that case, I mean, I think the only object can be emptiness. So
Well, the
the
object-
pot itself.
남측이 맞다고 주요 말아. 남측이 이만 이거 말아. 남측이 이 차도 또 걸어.
남쪽을 시가 많아. 나 다들 저기 세 마리 찍어. 다들 저기 세 마리.
제가 남측이 다도 시스템을 하고 왔어.
So So this, the object, found by valid cognizer distinguishing a final phenomenon has to be object, that object. Okay, so that object, found by a valid cognizer distinguishing final phenomenon has to be emptiness. Have to emptiness. So then earlier the question, the question goes to the omniscient mind, right? So omniscient mind, is the omniscient mind a valid cognizer distinguishing phenomenon or not? It is, right?
Yeah.
So if it is a final, a valid cognizer distinguishing final phenomenon, then so any object that appeared to it, any object that appeared to is an object found by valid cognizer distinguishing final phenomenon, right?
Yeah.
And so therefore, Geshe's question was, is a part an object found by valid cognizer distinguishing final phenomenon or not? If it is, if you say no, then it is, because it is found by omniscient mind.
Right, but I think that's why the definition continues. If you just ended the definition there by saying that, the pot is final phenomenon found by omniscient mind, you just ended there.
Which missing? Okay, which definition missing for the past?
Which part of the definition is missing in that?
Part with respect to which a valid cognizer distinguishing a final phenomena becomes a valid cognizer distinguishing a final phenomenon.
아니 범바토베 남체데 아니 범바토베 남체데 범발 세마 송어로.
So omniscient mind, right? Omniscient mind that recognizes the part. Isn't omniscient mind cognizing part a valid cognizer distinguishing distinguishing final phenomenon and becoming a valid cognizer distinguishing final phenomenon?
No.
아니 대토로래. 얘토벨로래.
Is it a valid cognizer that cognizes the object?
Yes.
The
세마로.
mind that the mind that directly perceives emptiness. In other words, enters the path.
I'm not about don't bring the emptiness. Then more confused, okay? Just part.
You don't see the pot when you see the emptiness unless you're a Buddha.
Yeah, as a Buddha. Buddha's mind knows, omniscient mind knows part. Okay? Buddha's mind knows part. It's tomorrow.
And it is a valid cognizer, right?
Okay? It
becomes valid cognizer.
Right.
It becomes valid cognizer. It is valid cognizer, right?
Okay, now what missing? What definition?
Okay, then maybe it's the definition of a conventional truth for the omniscient mind, because we're saying the pot, right? It is an object which is found by a valid cognizer, distinguishing the conventionality with respect to which a valid cognizer distinguished conventionality becomes a valid cognizer, distinguishing conventionality, right? I mean, that's true for the omniscient mind of a Buddha as well.
그것도 가고 말이야. 이거 알아.
You can't be both, right? Conventional truth and the ultimate truth are contradictory, right?
Right. Yeah.
So you can't have something that's both of them. There cannot be common locus.
Yeah, Rika, now you found your answer? Yes, you have found?
My guess. Okay.
Yeah, go ahead to guess.
Yeah, my guess is the recognizer can see both the ultimate truth and conventional. It's not truth but conventional all the phenomena. So it can tell that all the phenomena are illusions. It's like we can tell that when we are playing video games, all the images are fake, are illusions, and the world we are sensing is different from that part. And only when we can see both parts, we can tell the difference. But I also think that we cannot truly know the answer until we get the enlightenment status, because that's, and anything, and before that, anything we guess is just probably pretty far away from the ultimate truth. And if there any Buddha text says that whether there are difference or not, they can see it or not, then yeah, I think that must be valid and be believable. But before that, before we have any enlightenment, I don't think there's some question we can just get answer by analysis based on the things we've already, based on things we've sensed.
Yeah, that's good. Okay.
So during the meditation on emptiness, you do not see an object. And so then afterward it says, and by understanding all phenomena as like illusions, be released from the bondage of attachment. By understanding all phenomena as like illusions, not this is the mind after you have had a direct perception of emptiness. You still will see objects, but you will understand them as like illusions. But if the Buddha mind did not see objects, then obviously they couldn't see the people in front of them, they couldn't teach. So the Buddha mind must see the object and simultaneously the emptiness. Before the Buddha mind, you go back and forth. You either see emptiness or you see objects, but you understand the objects because you have a yogic perception as like illusions. They are not real in the sense. They are like an illusion. This is the mind, and before you reach, I don't know why we talk about the omniscient mind. No, I don't think we're anywhere near that.
Okay.
아마도 나 근데 돈이 뭐도 그 가사다. 아니 돈이 뭐도 나요 말했어. 돈이 뭐도 나요 말했어. 아니 다 냠샤가 없어. 돈이 뭐도 나요 말했어. 난 냠샤 라운드 단체는 다디 다디 유 나요. 나 다디 그것들이 가서 벌써 유만하시. 삼거스. 유만한 말에 대한 유만한 삼거스. 아니 아도 단다 가르치는 것도 남겨가 이렇게 쉬어요. 남겨 다 살을 내버려 봐.
그래. 에 다들 먹지. 오케이. good. 안한가도 전에 또 많이 또 전에 아따들 랩스래 갖고. Okay. What happened now?
Isn't the reason we're talking about the omniscient mind is because this definition is precisely formulated to include that mode of knowing.
남편과 쉐리마도 다들 남게 되나 수고했어.
쟤는 남자는 다두치지 테마로. 근데 다두치지 테마람도 다두치지 테마 제일 쇼라는 남편 샤주고 와.
그러니까 다이 맞아. 나 그런 데 말을 가서
다니시 테마.
아니죠.
제가
아니죠. 참 말해.
제가 다때가 된거 저거 그래. 제 대인바인다 하는 것도 저거 남자들 다두치지 테마를 왜서 옛날 범바티 다두치지 테마에 되려 옛날 범바티한테 말해 왜서 이다 바두고.
So yeah, of course, the reason why we're talking about the omniscient mind, is because omniscient mind is, is a value cognizer, distinguishing a final phenomenon. It is said that omniscient mind is a value cognizer, distinguishing final phenomenon. So, with respect to that, if the omniscient mind is a value cognizer, distinguishing final phenomenon, then is it whatever object that appears to it, is ultimate truth? And then the question, then if it's yes, then what about a part? The part appears, or is cognized by omniscient mind, and part and both emptiness and part. Part is cognized by omniscient mind, so therefore is part an ultimate truth? That's the question.
Can I try again?
Yeah, try again. Yeah.
So the part, the omniscient mind sees the part, but it sees that the part, he sees that the part is empty of its own existence. That's why it's the ultimate truth. the omniscient mind sees that it's final phenomenon, it's final mode of existence, the ultimate existence. It's empty of existing on its own side. But so the pot itself is the ultimate truth to the omniscient mind. Is that correct?
Like that way. No,
No?
not like that way.
Not like that.
No.
너의 본바디 단단한 말했어.
No.
본바프라 단단한 말했어. 남편 너의 본바디 단단한 말했어.
남자는 나의 pomba 가지래.
So you're saying that the part that appears to the omniscient mind is ultimate truth. Is that right, Margaret?
I'm saying what the omniscient
The pot
minds,
that-
what the
pot
omniscient,
that-
yeah. The pot itself is not, I don't
Ultimate
know,
truth.
the pot itself is an object, right? But when the pot itself is an object, but it's
Now you got more
emptiness.
okay, now I have, if you got that answer, then you got more clear. Yes.
This reminds me, I mean, this reminds me like, is the white horse white? It's like, is the pot ultimate truth? I mean, the ultimate truth for that to equal that, it would have to be mutually inclusive. So it is not. A pot could be an example, the way the Buddha sees the pot could be an example, a minute one of ultimate truth. But the question is pot ultimate truth? I would say
According to
no.
that definition.
According to that definition, say no.
No. You sure?
I
Okay,
think
가서
so, yeah.
홍어대 아니야, 정말 송어대 되게 고야 뭐 하고 나는도 사만 건가 써오잖아 그래. 아무도 홍어대인데 홍어대 홍어대 내가 yap보자는 단데 인요로 사고 건가 먹었잖아 그래.
We'll go back to our question. I mean, the homework question, right? So,
Two homeworks, but this is one of them, yeah.
yeah, so the question is, what does it mean to become a valid cognizer? To become a valid cognizer distinguishing conventionality. Right? That's the question, right? And if you are able to find the answer for that, what does it mean to become a valid cognizer distinguishing conventionality? If you're able to get that answer, then then you will be able to solve that earlier question.
Okay, who has the answer? Raise your hand. Yeah, January, yeah.
I mean, someone else can go. I mean, I have a,
No, you can go ahead, yeah.
what does it mean? I mean, because if we, as you were saying, if you just left the definition, an object found by a valid cognizer distinguishing a final phenomena, that could include everything, cups and books and everything like that. And so with respect to that, the valid cognizer distinguishing a phenomena becomes a valid cognizer distinguishing the final phenomena. So what does it mean to become? That there's a, because the mode of apprehension of the object, sorry.
It's okay.
I definitely could grasp why that is important, that part, because it qualifies the object. But let somebody else take a check shot.
Okay, Luca.
My understanding was that an object with respect to which the first one is the valid cognizer distinguishing a conventionality, that's the conventional consciousness becomes a real valid cognizer distinguishing the conventionality. And that valid cognizer, the object is found by that cognizer. That's what they're saying. So that conventional consciousness becomes reliable, valid cognizer distinguishing conventional. So it means that it is an object found by a conventional valid cognizer perceiving the false knowable object. That's what they mean. That's what I understood.
You're saying that the first object that's found by the valid cognizer distinguishing conventionality becomes what?
No, because you moved.
The second line, and which respect to which a valid cognizer distinguishing a conventionality, that's conventional consciousness becomes a valid cognizer. And the object is found by that valid cognizer.
Okay, Jennifer.
So it's only in relationship to the object. So the object, which is found by a valid cognizer, distinguished conventionality. And in relation to that object, the valid cognizer distinguishing conventionality becomes a valid cognizer distinguishing a conventionality. So it's only in relation to the object. Like if you're distinguishing.
Yeah, only object. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
The double channel. You got a double channel.
남치 범마도 when 남치든 세마소 범마도 셔도 말아 남치든 범마도 잡으라. 내가 빼나. 제자 근데 도배 테마디 내 도와인다 테마디 테마 소마디 독샤네로. 그래서 이인데 주부 독샤네. 어떤 뭐 몰라 빠지야 올라.
So you're saying that very object itself.
No, not independent of the mind. The mind distinguishing, the valid cognizer distinguishing conventionality. So the definition is the object found by that mind. And with respect to that object, that mind becomes a valid cognizer distinguishing. So it's like it's mutually dependent. You know, it's only in relation to that conventional.
You almost said it right, but then you're going. Yeah, so it has to be that object, right? It has to be a particular object. And I said like the mind, cognizes this object, right?
Mhm.
So it's a valid cognition, valid cognizer, right? Valid cognizer cognizing this object.
Okay.
So that valid cognizer cognizing the object becomes a valid cognizer cognizing the object because of cognizing this object.
Okay.
See
I
that?
understand
So
that.
why it becomes valid cognizer? It's because of cognizing this object. That's what it means. So it has to be a particular object.
Yeah, I think Rika also got it like that, right? Everyone got it? 당이 저러다 된다. 남치가 범마도 와. 남치가 범마도 와.
So the omniscient mind cognizes a part, right?
나야 남치 임바데 범마도 오시는 남치 소마로 남치 자 소마로.
So the omniscient mind cognizes cognizes part, right? And does omniscient mind becomes a valid cognizer because of cognizing the part?
Are we saying a valid cognizer distinguishing final phenomena or distinguishing
No,
conventional?
okay, listen to the question. So valid omniscient mind cognizes part, right? Is omniscient mind, does omniscient mind becomes valid cognizer because of cognizing part?
I would say no, because it was already valid cognizer before. It does not become valid
You got it,
cognizer.
yeah.
How about you guys?
That's the fair question. That's it.
Yeah.
That's the difference. It doesn't become valid cognizer because of cognizing the part.
테마 소마도 you got it? You got it? You got it, right?
Yeah, I do. But
You got the tricky one.
you're saying, is that why it's saying?
Like contract law, you gotta pick apart everything.
So in the definition, right, of the let's say the final phenomenon, right? The omniscient, like you said, the omniscient mind is a valid cognizer distinguishing a final phenomenon, right? That part is good, And with respect to which valid cognizer distinguishing a final phenomenon, so let's say with respect to which omniscient mind cognizing cognizing the part becomes valid cognizer, valid cognizer distinguishing the final phenomenon.
Was the definition designed then to eliminate the Buddhist omniscient mind to say, no, this is,
아니 말했지 모르겠어.
No, as I understood the question was
남편이.
남지 되는데 말이야. 남지 권한도 되는데 말이야. 남지 권한도 되는데 말이야. 남지 이해 또 같아. 남지 되는데 말이야. 남지 남지 권한도 되지 마. 다도 주시 되면 이대로. 남지 권한 남지 권한 되는데 말이야. 대 아래 남지 되는 말이야. 남지 공제에 말이야. 되는데 말이야. 남지도 구도돼 말이야. 오지지. 뭔지 많이 맞지.
고주문제도 가와라요.
남지 듣고도 되면 말이야. 남지 대답 말이야. 남지 듣고도 말이야.
Yeah, so if you talk about just omniscient mind, what is it? Conventional truth or ultimate truth? The omniscient mind itself. Omniscient mind is a mind or not?
Yes.
So is it a conventional truth or ultimate truth? Mind itself.
So
here it says, it talks about the, so it says here, if it is the ultimate truth, in other words, it says it has to be emptiness.
Right.
Yeah, so part is not an ultimate truth.
Right.
The emptiness of part is ultimate truth.
Right.
Exactly, like that,
It's
right?
an example of both.
So,
Right.
yeah, so the omniscient mind is not ultimate truth. The emptiness of omniscient mind is ultimate truth. So omniscient mind itself is conventional truth. So we're not talking, it's not designed to say that, designed to omit,
No,
the omniscient
I'm
mind.
not saying, I'm saying though, that, you're saying that the object, that the valid cognizer of Buddha is not, doesn't become a valid cognizer Buddha because of the object. That's what you said, right? So then why bother to have the rest of this definition? If it, you say an object found by a valid cognizer distinguishing a phenomena. I mean, that's as true for the omniscient mind of the Buddha as it is for an Arya being.
대체 보라서 남편한테 그 카워 샤바는데 남편 다 알아봤어. 그래서 단위 주제 세마했으라. 단위 가서 다도 주제 세마했어. 아주 세마 인자다고 세마 소왔으라고 합니다.
소모들라고 남체대 나 범바도 보시는 자주 말어 봐. 남체 추담지 동안 남체를 범바도 와서 그 남체 자소 말어. 송알라고 그때
나다가는 다도 주제 세마 소왔거든요. 가래라 달주도 세마 소왔어.
오,
유지 샤고.
얘도 딱 유카나. 나 범바지는 범바샤버. 대 범바 소 말했어. 세마 소도 말했어. 세마 소는 범바도 왜 차네 남체 샤고.
단다 그런데 가서 나 단위 주제 녀든들라 나도 돈이 고마래. 아니 다도 주제 세마 녀든들라.
쟤들 녀 된 다도들 많이 고.
뭐라. 대제도 다 보다 때는 다도 주제 녀도 뭐라.
쟤들
다도 세마 녀도 뭐라.
쟤들 말이야. 다도 주제 템 또 그래. 다도 주제 템에 말말. 주제 녀들에
녀도 돈이 뭐라.
얘는 얘들은 그 또야 그더라고. 또야 돼. 나 참 소화도 말했어. 얘들은 그 또야 연락을 와.
맞아요. 다도 주제 세마 녀도라. 다도 주제 세마 소왔어. 얘들 나서도.
얘들 다도 주제 템에 얘도 바지 텔라 참 소화. 무조건
녀도 이나 딱 가서 말인데 돈이 고라서.
얘들은 그 참 소화 말이. 얘들이 참 소화 말이. 참 소화는 그것도 무시하는 샤워 말이. 얘도
그거라 샤워. 얘도 이나 나는 돈이 고 말이야.
얘는 또 많고 말이.
어떤 데는 돈이 고 말이야. 어떤 데는 단단한 말아 돈이 고 말이야.
단단한 돈이 고 그래.
안 다도 저게 얘들은 단단한 말아.
다도 지에 템에 얘도 나고 대단한 받고 말. 다도 지에 템에 얘도 임바지. 다도 지에 템에 그걸 참만 넣나? 아니 대단한 거죠.
단단한 거라. 난 돈이 고라.
그래.
근데 얘들이 테마다 단단한 거서 나 다도 저게 냐 세메 얘들이 다도 저게 세마라. 다도 저게 세마 소화데. 내가 돈이 고라.
아니 얘도 나고 말. 나 다도 지에 템에 다 돈이 또 그렇고 가셔라. 시당 배차 남제도 왜나? 본바된 남체가 있는데 장열에
그래서 던져되면 얘들은
간이 가셔야 돼. 근데 얘도 말해.
비거라. 던져되면 얘들은 다 본다 또 돈이 뭐.
그게 되면 얘는 되고 그래요.
남자 저 얘들은 돈이 뭐.
야, 되고 돼.
비거라.
되고 되고
뭐다 샤입니다.
이거지. 얘나야 남체에 다투지 스타마로 왔어. 근데 본바도 그 얘대로 왔어. 다 본바 그 본바를 세마 송을했다. 들어왔던 또 거야. 다투지 스타마 그러나 말이지.
So then, from actually, from the definendum, right? The definendum, is the which is being defined, right? So, I mean, I don't think there's a term like that in English. Definendum and definition. That's definition, and definendum is the thing that is being defined, and then definition
The object
is
of the definition.
yeah. So object is the definendum. So let's say like that. So right. So the definendum is the ultimate truth here, right? So the ultimate truth is the definendum. So if it is ultimate truth, there has to be emptiness. It has to be cessation. Like it says, this system asserts the true cessation are provided by ultimate truth. So that means anything that is ultimate truth has to be a true cessation, which is emptiness, right? So in that case, then an object found by a value cognizer distinguishing a final phenomenon with respect to which the value cognizer distinguishing a final phenomenon becomes a value cognizer distinguishing final phenomenon has to be emptiness, right? Yeah. So that we can't talk about the part.
Well, that's what,
Yes,
that's what we.
Yeah.
And by definition, the Buddha's mind is also empty. It must be empty. The Buddhist mind is final nature is emptiness. There's an emptiness to the Buddhist mind. There's an emptiness to all phenomena, including the Buddha's mind.
Yes.
It's not only Buddha's mind, everything is empty.
Everything empty. Okay, that's it.
You understood are you clear with the doubt now?
Interesting.
Yes.
남체에 다투지 스타마로 왔어.
The omniscient mind is a value cognizer, distinguishing the final phenomena, right?
With respect to value.
남체 있나고.
No, don't worry about that part. We're just talking about the first part. The omniscient mind is the value cognizer, distinguishing the final phenomena, right?
Not only that, it also is valid cognizer distinguishing conventionality, but yes.
남체에 다투지 스타마에 맞지. 그 얘대에나 다투지 스타면 얘대고 말했어. 남체에 다투지 스타마로 와. 그 얘대나 다투지 스타면 얘대고 말했어.
근데 가서 단위적인 세마나.
예지만 남체에 다니지 스타마야 레베 아니 그 바로 그것도 도구들 되고 말했어.
Yeah, so 단위적인 세마를 하는 대인여도나 단위적인 세마.
되고 말했어. 아나 다니 다까지 그것도 축하가 남체 도구로 봐. 나 다시 스타마래 나 다니 스타면도 말해.
나도 저기 세면 얘들을 했어.
나 다투지.
아니나? 다투지 세마 말해. 다투지 세마 얘들을 해.
그 다투지 스타마 그 다투지 스타마지 그 얘대는 다투지 스타만이 돼 뭐고? 그 다니지 스타만이지 그 얘대는 다니 스타만이 돼 뭐고?
Says an object found by value cognizer distinguishing a final phenomena, right? So a value omniscient mind is a value cognizer distinguishing a final phenomena, right? And the object of the if the omniscient mind is the value cognizer distinguishing a final phenomenon, then it is not necessary that object of the omniscient mind is an object found by value cognizer distinguishing final phenomenon.
아영강 이제 좋아져. 엄마한테 다투지했으면 얘들 왜 했어? 말이라고지. 말이라고. 엄마한테 다투지했으면 얘들 왜 했어?
So is an object found by value cognizer distinguishing a final phenomenon, right? So is part an object? Is part an object found by a valid cognizer distinguishing final phenomenon? I'm saying yes. Because omniscient mind is a valid cognizer distinguishing a final phenomenon, and it's the object of the omniscient mind. The part is omniscient, or the object of omniscient mind. And you said there's no perfection.
You say no provision.
There's no
Yeah.
provision because we already said that, right?
Yeah.
If it is the object, the omniscient mind is a valid cognizer distinguishing a final phenomenon. But if it is the object of the omniscient mind, it is not necessary to be an object found by a valid cognizer distinguishing a final phenomenon. That's what it means. There's no provision. You understand now?
clear?
The omniscient mind is a valid cognizer distinguishing final phenomenon. But if it's an object of the omniscient mind, it is not necessary to be an object found by a valid cognizer distinguishing final phenomenon.
Find a little defect, it has to be.
가르치는 그 범바도 와다 그 남지 자소 말was.
Because then the reason why it's not ultimate truth is because the omniscient mind doesn't become a valid cognizer because of cognizing the thought.
Okay, is it clear now? No, that okay. Now next question.
The question was in the etymology for the Prasangika, what does it mean? What's the meaning of a mere consequence?
다시는 지셔도 그래서
얘도 다지다.
타주담세.
하다도 싶다. Okay, we go to the next week. Okay. Yeah, it's too complicated.
Thank you for the questions, John.
이러다 네가 와서 실합시다. 나와 이진도 절라 포멍하는 데에 답이 맞아 가자는 대신 가자는 데문지는 가라고 그랬어.
And now we just want to go to the beginning of the fifth category, which is the mode of asserting object possessor, right? That they assert the mere I imputed independent on the five elegant as the illustration of the person.
맞았나?
And the person is pervaded by non-associated compositional factor.
What means that?
What is the meaning of non-compositional, associated compositional factor?
It's neither form nor.
That's the question for the homo question.
Oh, that's the question. Oh,
Homo
sorry.
question
I
for
thought
the
you were
next
asking-
week.
I'm sorry.
Non-associated compositional factor. What does that mean?
이런 세 가지 있으시죠. 세 가지씩.
So if you can find the definition of that, would be good. Or exact, maybe okay, or find some examples of that.
Fine.
뭐지 사. 배시 가르만 뭐지 된다 봐.
무슨 하면 되지?
Okay, sorry, they're a little complicated. I just tried to make you guys a little bit confused. Also, they have a lot of tricky things. If your tricky is very clear, then you are clear all the Lord dots. It's complicated. Okay.
One homework question?
Yeah, then also we will do
Then
the
we'll discuss the second question from last week.
try to find a couple examples. Okay, couple examples. Okay, now we stop. Thank you. Okay.
Thank you so much, Dr. Lau. Page 39 for the Thanksgiving mandala offering. Saji Purpi Jushin Mitotra Brirag Rinji De Gempadi Sange Jinki Wadi And that's no mountain and circled land, source of every benefit and glory, remain in life till Sasara's end. Savior, the Stovan teachings and transmigratory beings who extensively clarifies the path that unifies emptiness and compassion. The lotus of the hand, Lord Tenzin Gyatso. Page 49. You who subdue us in all ways, serve the wonderful miracle, sustaining, preserving, and spreading my Buddhist victorious doctrine. Masterfully accomplished magnificent prayers on the three jewels, Savior, myself, and others, your disciples, please, live long. Page 57, prayers of dedication. Through this virtue, may I swiftly and again
Otherwise,
the state, place each and every sentient being without exception in that state. Precious supreme Holy Mind, where all born arise, and ever born, never decline,
One with the two at the end.
75.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Very more comfort.
Weekend hurts.
Thank you. Good night and good morning.